Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jay Cohn.
And I'm Jeanelle Slade. Whether it's rates or the stakes, both could be getting higher here in Billings.
Tonight, the Billings City Council turns up the heat as it decides how much water rates will be going up.
Plus, sports in Montana could get a little more interesting. You can put your money on it.
Those stories in a moment, but our top story tonight, the names of 3 Billings police officers disciplined for sexual encounters on the job will remain private for at least another 48 hours. That decision handed down today by Judge Donald Harris. Harris ruling the names should be released, but he did allow for lawyers for the officers time to put together a possible appeal to the Montana Supreme Court. This case centers on the officer's right to privacy versus the public's right to know. Q2 and the Billings Gazette teamed up to ask for the release of the officers' names. 2 of the officers were disciplined after admitting to having sex while on duty with a police department clerk. A 3rd officer was off duty but had sex with the same clerk on city property. Today in court, the officers' attorneys argued that their activities were not a dereliction of duty. But Judge Harris disagreed, saying the conduct in question was serious and reprehensible.
It calls into question the police officers' honesty and integrity, made them vulnerable to blackmail, and the city of Billings itself has decided that these names should be disclosed, which is significant to the court, because what I'm sure the city is concerned about is this idea that right now this pall hangs over the entire department, when in fact, as we know, most of our police officers are wonderful. They do a great and heroic job all the time for us. But we've got 3 who simply have failed the standard. And it's not fair that the whole department should suffer under this pall.
Harris went on to add that police officers are given the power to infringe on our basic liberties, but with that kind of power, he said, comes additional scrutiny. Now, once the appeal has been filed, Judge Harris will then decide whether his 48-hour stay will remain in effect.
Billings water rates are going up, and tonight Billings City Council will decide how much.
Now, because the city did not raise its rates last year, there basically are 2 options on the table now. First, raise rates by 3%, while wastewater rates would jump 2.7%. Or the council could choose a second option in which both water and wastewater rates would go up by about 5%.
Public Works Director Dave Mumford says the higher rates are important in order to sustain operations and fund needed infrastructure improvements. We'll have more on what the council decides tonight here on the Q2 10 o'clock news.
The U.S. Supreme Court today strikes down a 26-year-old federal law, a law that bars gambling on baseball, basketball, football, and other sports in most states.
Well, today the High Court gives the thumbs up, giving states the option to legalize betting on their favorite teams. Q2's Zoe Zandora standing by now to tell us what this means for sports and gambling here in Montana. Zoe.
Thanks, Jay and Jeanelle. That's right. This opens up the possibility, depending on what state you're in, you could be betting on the NBA Finals. I was on a conference call earlier today with the American Gaming Association, the single most effective advocate for casino operators, suppliers, and allies in the gaming industry. And they made it very clear they are pleased with the ruling. The organization's CEO, Jeff Freeman, says the ruling made for a, quote, monumental day, a victory for the millions of Americans who seek to bet on sports in a safe and regulated manner. But what does this mean for us here in Montana? I spoke with administrator of the Montana Gambling Controlling Division, Angela Nunn, on the phone earlier today.
So there is not an immediate effect of the ruling on Montana. What it does is open the potential for legislators to bring legislation regarding sports betting in our next legislative session. There would need to be a lot of regulatory structure that would need to be put in place, and I don't know whether there's a big market for that here in Montana. There's definitely a lot involved in regulating that type of activity. I have heard that there's interest in that in Montana, but it will depend on the legislature's appetite for that type of gambling here in Montana.
So for now, nothing has changed here in Montana in regards to betting on sports. It would all require legislative change. Any proposals would come during the next legislative session, January 2019. Jeanelle?
All right. Thanks so much, Zoe. Well, Yellowstone National Park's Steamboat Geyser erupts for the 5th time in the last 6 weeks. Take a look. The U.S. Geological Survey says Steamboat began erupting about 6:30 a.m. Sunday and lasted about 12 hours. The experts say this level of activity hasn't happened since the 1980s. Scientists do not believe Steamboat's frequent eruptions point toward an active volcanic phase for Yellowstone. Steamboat Geyser is highly variable, sometimes taking years between eruptions. At one point, it stayed quiet for 50 years.
The Washington Post reporting that half a dozen top national park leaders will soon be moved to other jobs in a major shakeup of the agency by Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke. Among those set to be reassigned is Yellowstone National Park Superintendent Dan Wink, who is said to be headed back to Washington, D.C. MTN's John Shearer tonight has the latest for us.
Until the Washington Post article, and shortly before, it was certainly something that I had not thought about.
Wink says he fully expected to end his career in the same place he started working for the National Park Service, Yellowstone.
I've worked for 42 years for the National Park Service. I'm 66 years old, so my retirement's not long off under any event.
So far, the Interior Department has only said it has no announcements to make about national park personnel. But if asked, would Wink consider going to Washington?
If the call came with reasons why I should go and how I could be helpful, in terms of the National Park Service, to which I've devoted my career, I might.
But Wink says he still has work to do in the park. There's his pet project, protecting the pure strain of wild bison in Yellowstone. But there's a lot more on his to-do list.
Fisheries will continue to be a big issue. We've made some great strides with the concession operation in Yellowstone. We have a couple other contracts that are soon to expire, and to write new contracts to continue the effort to improve visitor facilities is important. We haven't touched half the rows and the kind of treatment that they need to do. That needs a major influx. Employee housing in Yellowstone National Park. We have to take care of our employees.
Dan Wink is proud of infrastructure improvements he's been able to usher in for the park, like this road refurbishment project, and a lot of new buildings as well. But he thinks that perhaps less tangible projects are even more important, and he feels as if he has unfinished business.
Maybe the biggest issue facing Yellowstone National Park is the incredible amount of visitors that we have to the park.
The number of visitors is up more than 20% in the last 3 years to about 4.25 million visits every year.
We can't build ourselves out of this. So the question is how are we going to manage visits?
Look for a major new research project asking visitors what they want. That will begin this summer, and Wink is eager to get started.
I think there's some things that I'm well positioned to finish up. I'd like to get the opportunity to do that.
In Yellowstone National Park, I'm John Shearer, MTN News.
Thank you very much, John. Superintendent Wink, by the way, says he has not yet spoken to Secretary Zinke about the Washington Post report.
Billings and Laurel High School artists have made their mark on a local business, and now it's time for you to pick your favorites.
Billings Senior High, Skyview, West High, Billings Central, and Laurel High School all contending again in this year's War of the Walls. Now, each high school paints a mural on the side of one of the local Master Lube stores. The People's Choice is to be announced this Friday. The winner gets a traveling trophy and, of course, bragging rights for the coming year.
Now, the competition coincides with the annual Grad Day fundraiser this weekend. Now, every dime spent at a Master Lube, any of those Master Lubes, this Saturday goes to the designated school's Graduation Day Fund. You can head to this story at ktvq.com to cast your vote.
Margot Kidder, the actress best known for her role as Lois Lane in the 1978 Superman film, died at her Montana home this past weekend.
Kidder died Sunday at her home in Livingston at the age of 69. Her cause of death is currently unknown.
Kidder starred opposite Christopher Reeve in Superman and the subsequent 3 sequels to the movie.
Coming up on tonight's 5:30 News, for this piece of Montana history, its buck is worse than its bite. In a moment, we'll check out the Miles City bucking horse sale.
And coming up in sports tonight, this Montana golfer is out to play every course in the state this summer. Scott catches up with him coming up.
And coming up in weather, our temperatures are going to rise and our rivers will rise with them. We'll talk about both of them coming up in a few more minutes.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Cohn and Jeanelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green. This is the 530 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.